Welcome aboard, ladies. I'm Recon Rook 24602, Church Militant, Colorado Springs chapter, Navy of the Immaculata with the Knights of Columbus, rocking the Titanic. I'd like to talk to you about the Titanic. A little, I don't know if in any of my other videos I really um, expressed my thoughts on it, so USS Titanic 2. Um, Pope Benedict XVI asked for future generations to bring forth new expressions of love, and uh, so I give you the Titanic in your hometown. It's an idea. It's in an idea form. The idea wasn't my own. I had a daydream in 2003 while I was working at the Monument Pharmacy. Um, I just daydreamed like, oh, if I won the Powerball or something, I would build a ship right off the interstate north of Colorado Springs. Started off as a submarine, and then it morphed into other things for a while. For a couple days, I entertained that daydream, and then I forgot all about it for years until I was going through the quickening when I was 42 years old, and I was drawn to the ground like God's yo-yo, like God was doing this with his yo-yo, and I was on the ground, and I was inexplicably high, uh, in some kind of ecstasy, and God brought back my daydream, only bow to stern. It was the Titanic, right up there off the interstate north of Colorado Springs, and and all these Bible verses started going through my head while I was in this ecstasy. Like James Cameron had his hot day in the sun. He was not cheated, but at the end of the day, Jesus brought the Titanic to all of us on land and stuff. I make all these pictures of like the Titanic, like Noah's Ark or something. It's an idea that is right there in your hometown. I say all the amenities of a nostalgic cruise. You don't even have to leave the city. It's it's in Phoenix, it's in Tokyo, it's in Cleveland, anywhere you are, anywhere there's a Catholic church, because there is one rule to the Titanic, and you build it out of love. It's a ship built out of love, like any thug life princesses want on board. They're gonna have to ditch their hatred for cops and their thug life principles and stuff, and get on board with love. Otherwise, they won't even be mopping the poop deck on that thing when she sets sail. They'll be sitting on the dock holding their microphones. But the idea of the Titanic 2, it's also the Titanic. It's a direct counterattack against Satan's attack on the family. It's a young man's game. It's what a man can do and what he can't do in the name of love. There's a difference in role playing for your lover and pretending. A con man pretends to be your friend, but in love, it knows no bounds, especially when you have the Eucharist of the Catholic Church to center your love, and you're looking in the right direction. The one rule for the Titanic is, a young man might come up to you and say one day, "Hey, old dude, where should I take my date in this town? I got a date Friday night." And you gotta say, "Young man, you gotta show her the Titanic. She's right here in town, but there's one rule. You gotta go to a Catholic Mass service sit in the back and respectfully consider, is this salvation in practice? Is this how God does it? Is salvation in action maybe the more appropriate word for it? But that's how God does it. Jesus Christ isn't a wrestling superstar or a rock and roll musician or anything. He could do anything in the whole world, but he chooses to be a priest. Just like that priest at Mass, he likes an entrance. The priest comes in there. He's covered in vestments that look cool, and it's not just for looking cool. It's armor, spiritual armor. It's the bells, the candles, the incense, the holy water, the whole thing. God, that's what Jesus is into. We don't bring Hulkamania into the Mass service on Sunday. We do Hulkamania the rest of the week. The Mass service is solemn and holy, and that's what Jesus is into. Now, when you tell that young man, when you can show your date the Titanic, the sparks are gonna fly when you take her to DQ for a dilly bar. Things will line up for you. About the other things about the Titanic, is a direct counterattack on Satan's attack on the family. It's like showing love to your woman and everything. It's the young man's game. There might come a time when you get older and you shed the Titanic and you say, oh, yeah, life's, you're busy with life and everything. You're not building the Titanic so much. But every act of love that you do, you offer it up to the Lord like the little way. There's many different types of love. There's agape, charity, ludic love, random acts of kindness, the little way, generosity, all and practicing the spiritual and corporal works of mercy and things. Everything that you do on this, you're building the Titanic. And what you really want to do is look past the Titanic to Jesus and store up your treasures in heaven. Because it might come a day when you get up there with Jesus and you look back and say, just like Luke Skywalker in the Millennium Falcon, what a hunk of junk. Why were we building the Titanic? But we don't know any better here in this dirt hole of a world that we live in. The Titanic is the ship that we built, and you store up your treasures in heaven, because for the time being, like a young man's game, it's the Titanic too, right here in Colorado Springs or in Cleveland or wherever you're at, according to the Catholic Church. So peace be with you.